how to switch between them. Because we have two, we don't have an outside system that switches and then changes the form inside the box dynamically. We're just going to use two separate boxes and switch between them and hide one and show the other one. So the best way to do this in Noodle, when there's a kind of what are you question, like am I a login, am I a sign up, then we would be using the states node. So the states node is sort of, Bubble had states when I used Bubble, but Bubble states were more like ways of just storing an object, like, storing an array or storing a text or storing a Boolean value or something like that. States are really like kind of a way of constructing an object in advance and then saying that this object has different variants and what are the different fields in each variant. So I'm going to have a login object with variants where the same variants are in the sign-up object, and that's going to determine a lot of things about what happens inside the group here. So we're going to have a, let's say that login is the default state, and that's the default state is here, and the sign up is going to be the kind of alternative state, right? So login is going to be when you're in the login state, we're going to say what we get is this option here from states. You get the name of the state that currently is, so it, like literally the name that I typed there, so it would output login if the state was currently login. You get a signal when the state is changed. The problem with this is it's only when it's literally changed, like it goes from sign up to login. If I just say go to login and it's already login, it won't fire the changed state because it will be like, yeah, I'm already logged in, so I haven't changed. So that's something to be aware of. Sometimes it's worth having like having a kind of default state and having that be the default state, and then you know that there will definitely be a change from default to login or from default to sign up, so you know that that's going to fire something, and then stick it back to default when you're done so that the next time the user clicks something it goes back to either login or sign up. But I'm not going to do that. What I want is for it to be login by default and then it go to something else. So what would be cool here would be if I had a title perhaps externally to the login and sign up form boxes and had for example, well that's a cool thing to do actually. That would have been a cool thing to do. Let's do that cool thing. So we're going to take the welcome text out, take it out, put it here. And we're going to call this login form instead. You can see this seems like more work than is necessary, but I feel like this is a fun example. So login form, sign up form. Okay, so we have the welcome text. We're going to have the already have an account login text. Take that one out. And we're going to have the button as well, because that'll be fun. I want the button. Oh, no, okay. Oh, yeah, okay. No, we're gonna take it out. We're gonna take it out. Take the button out. Take the button out. Why am I giving myself all this headache? You'll see. You will see. So take out welcome text, name and bits and everything, leave that. Sign up button, take it out. Go to login, take it out. And then I'm going to take the button out of this workflow out. And here. So this is more efficient in terms of reusability. And what I'm doing here is making sure that there's one place I need to go if I want to change certain things, and not 500 places. So, oh, and this I want to take out as well, actually. And this, and all, just take it all. It's all gone. So I forgot password goes there. Okay, so now I have one login box that has two distinct forms either a sign up form or a login form. And those forms don't have the button inside the component anymore. Why? Because the state is actually a handy way to not have to go back into each group and change individual texts and button labels and things like that. I've now reduced myself down to one button instead of having two buttons, one of them hidden, one of them shown. I'm reducing down the number of elements that are hidden and shown, because in the end, efficiency wise, that's going to reduce the load on the cache of the browser. If the user goes from sign up to login, then all the elements in both sign up and login have been shown and so are cached somewhere. Whereas if we just have one button and it has different states, then that's the one button that gets cached, and whether they go from login or sign up is the same. And it's also because I get to show you the awesomeness of the states node. So I'm turning transitions off because that's something you can play with later when it comes to like CSS transitions. Right now I just want to have a straight transition between the two different states. So we're going to have welcome text. We're going to have button label. We're going to have forgot password mounted, and that's all. So this means that we set first the type. So the welcome text is a string, the button label is a string, and the forgot password is a boolean, because when I'm in login state, I'm going to get access to all of these cool values. So I'm going to get access, for example, to this text: welcome to the Learn Book, please log in below. Oh no, I'm not, because I can even copy text. Copy, please? No, don't want to. No, we don't want to. Okay, I'll type it out. Welcome to Learn Book. Dang it. Can I not go down one line? No, doesn't matter. Please log in below. We'll figure that out later. Button label is login. Forgot password mounted is yes, because when you're logging in, you do see the forgot password thing. And then the other one would be welcome to Learn Book. Please sign in below. And then button label would be sign. No, did I say sign in? Of course I did. Sign up. Sign up. Forgot password mounted. No, it's going to be false. Now our login sign up states node is suddenly very powerful, because it can, from the state node, give me whatever the current welcome text is. So wherever the state is, it's going to output the welcome text of that state. So I know that my welcome text will always be correct. You see that it didn't do the new line thing, so I'm going to have to figure that out, but I'll figure that out later. The button label goes to the button. And the forgot password mounted, it will be true or false. And so we connect that to the mounted input of the forgot password group, and it will unmount it when it's false, which means when we get to sign up, it's going to unmount it. And finally, when we are at login, I want my component to mount, but look, we have no inputs because we've created a custom component. We've created no inputs for our custom component, so I can't say if it's mounted or unmounted yet. I have to go in here and say component inputs. I have to define an input. I'm going to call it mounted. I'm going to connect mounted to the group. Mounted. This means that outside the component, I'm going to get access to this mounted input, and it's going to know that it's a true false because it's connected to the mounted input of the group. If a component input is directly connected to a certain type of input, then outside the input, suddenly you get mounted and unmounted. So now I can do this. And this will work for, like, if I selected a color, for example, say I said I want to know what color this is from the outside, and I connect that up to the background color of the input, then outside the component, suddenly I have a color picker called color. So whatever inputs you put on that component become your own personal parameters pane when you're placing that component somewhere. So it's really, really cool and powerful. So I'll delete that because I don't need that. It's just an example. And do the same thing for the sign up form. Put in inputs and mounted. Again, this is where someone would say, yeah, this is inefficient because you could have made these fields dynamic and then you wouldn't have had to put mounted twice. Could have just put it once, but whatever. I'm being sort of lazy and sort of incomprehensible, and that's fine. I'm fine with that. So login state, when it's at the login state, that means, I'm login, okay, I'm true. At login is true, I'm going to mount that. And when I'm at sign up state, then I'm going to mount the sign up form. And then, so you see that one of them is true and one of them is false by default. So that's basically all I have to do. Now I have the login form and everything is hunky-dory, rosy-daisy, except for that, but that's good. And I have that mounted and perfect. And so now, yeah, I'm in my login state and that's great, happy days. But how do I go from login to sign up? Well, we have our go to sign up button. Now this is a bit complicated because I took it out of the reusable component. I can't just say, and I did forget something as well, which is the go to text. Don't have an account. Sign up. Oh, for goodness sake. Because I left it as a number. I hate that that's a number by default. It's so silly. Sorry, I should say it. Already. No. Don't have an account. Sign up is the message when we're in the login mode, and when we're in sign up mode, it's already have an account. Log in. And then we connect that to this text. Go to text, done. Don't have an account, sign up. So we would be able to connect this to the state and say when somebody clicks this, well actually the group that contains it is much easier. When somebody clicks this, then go to login state, for example, but we don't have that. We have two options. We either toggle, and this is just, we're lucky because we have two states, so toggling is just going to go from one to the other. So that's, in our case, the easiest way to do it. But otherwise, we could have said, we could have had some sort of condition here that says when, is this login state? Yes. And then when we click, it evaluates the condition. And if it's login is true, and it goes and makes it to sign up mode. And if it's login false, then it puts it back to login mode, for example. But we're lucky here, we can just connect it to the toggle and that'll just switch in between every time. So that means if I click here, click, ta-da, ta-da, so it's toggling each time because we just have those two states and it's definitely either one or the other. Then that's an easy fix. And that's how we switch between groups in Noodle. You can see all the things lighting up as they're passing the new data out. It's great. I love it.